Some pretty shocking news coming out, as we are now hearing that Russian advisors are saying that Russia should now demonstrate a nuclear explosion, detonate a nuclear bomb to scare the West, the United States, and NATO from their aggressive actions that are taking place. Now, this is coming out. This article is linked in the description. I cite all the sources for you so you can see it. This coming out in the last 24 hours, as they're saying World War III is on the brink, as Russia is being advised to demonstrate a nuclear explosion to scare the West. Now, they're saying that this is coming out, and they're saying that this nuclear explosion demonstration should deter the West from further involvement in the Ukrainian conflict. So they are saying that this is something that they believe that they should do in order to help stop things from escalating. And we had actually heard that Russia was considering altering their nuclear doctrine. We've heard this warning for a while, changing the clause of escalate to de-escalate. And this would definitely fall in line with that, as they're saying that they would essentially detonate a nuclear weapon in order to deter the West from getting further involved. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on this? Russia potentially demonstrating a nuclear blast to show the world they need to step away from further conflict with Russia. Absolutely incredible. Now, what would be the repercussions of this unfolding? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. I see some people saying that it might have glitched for a second there. Did everybody hear me and see me okay on the report? Let me know if you can. All right, people are saying yes. Okay, excellent. So just in case you missed it, let me go ahead and cover that for you once again. And that is that we're hearing news coming out, some shocking news coming out in the last 24 hours that Russia is being advised to essentially demonstrate a nuclear explosion, detonate a nuclear bomb to scare the West and NATO, to let them know and send a message not to mess with Russia, not to get further involved. They're saying that prominent leaders in Russia's group, their advisory, is saying that they are calling upon them to consider demonstrating a nuclear explosion to deter the West from further involvement with the Ukrainian conflict, saying that this will scare the United States and NATO and show them to stay away, showing them this is what we're capable of. We have nuclear weapons, nuclear bombs that we could explode, and we could essentially wreak havoc. So step away from the conflict that is currently going on with Russia and Ukraine. Now, this is not new. And as I mentioned just a moment ago, in case you missed it, Russian President Vladimir Putin has suggested changing the nuclear doctrine, the clause to escalate to de-escalate, as they're saying that they would do this preemptively to deter other nations from getting involved in the conflict. And also, this actually came out a month ago. We had heard these warnings a month ago, and now it's coming back again in the last 24 hours. As we heard from Reuters, we heard from Newsweek, Irish Star, and Mint, several other articles I'm seeing about a month ago. We heard them say that the Kremlin is saying that Russia should consider demonstrations of nuclear explosions, saying we're not going to hit you, but we are going to just show you. We're going to detonate a nuclear bomb to show you what we're capable of, to warn the United States and NATO. Now, let me know your thoughts. What are the potential repercussions of this? What could be? What could this do to the environment? Where are they going to detonate this at? Are they going to detonate it in the air? What about EMPs, impacts on the water? This could throw off a lot of different things here. Just even the demonstration of this could be extremely dangerous. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And how do you think the United States is going to be responding to this? We just saw the debates take place between former President Donald Trump and President Joe Biden. We heard Donald Trump give the warnings that Biden is walking us step by step into World War III. These other nations are becoming emboldened because of weak leadership in the United States. And they're saying that they're essentially doing whatever they want because they don't feel like the Biden administration was even able to exit Afghanistan well, let alone be able to handle offensives coming from adversary nations. And he's saying that it's time for us to switch hands with our commander-in-chief for the United States, because right now things are intensifying to levels of which we have never seen before, and they are suggesting detonating these nuclear weapons, which is also why, as you guys know here on the channel, I'm putting together lists for you of things to stockpile to help just in case things intensify and get worse, which we're hearing they could, I have now linked for you. I had so many requests in the last video for EMP devices. So if you're looking for electromagnetic pulse protection, so should they detonate a nuclear device in the air and those waves come out and they fry any electronics, there are EMP protective devices for you in the comments. I've added them to the stockpile list. One's for your vehicle. You just simply add it on to make sure that it doesn't get hit by that pulse. There's also highly rated military grade fabrics that are extremely affordable, and you can actually cut them down to any size. Added that as well, along with the tapes for it. And there are items that we are just adding on there. Had a lot of requests for this. What is something that would protect against those blasts, those pulses, but not just pulses, specifically the ones that would come from an EMP. Those are linked down below for you guys. I'm going to be adding to the lists, as I mentioned, for people that want to prepare just in case, trying to find the most affordable ones. So that way people can see like, okay, we can get this. This is highly rated. This is military class. And this is also affordable and available right now. 777, welcome to the Ram Fam. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and hitting that member button, hitting join, that monthly support. I appreciate that a ton. Not necessary, but greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. As a result, all of these resources will pop up in the description, or excuse me, that are in the description will pop up in your feed after the live stream. Also, JRoad49, welcome to the Ram Fam as well. I appreciate the support, you guys. Now, I'm going to get you caught up on the latest on this. As I mentioned, this coming out about a month ago, that Russia was suggesting that they do this. They demonstrate their nuclear power by detonating a nuclear bomb, an explosion take place. But I'm going to share with you exactly what it is that is being said here in the last 24 hours as they're bringing this back, saying this is something that should be done. So that way the United States will step away. Absolutely incredible. I see Shaz saying this is madness. Can we put Trump in now, says Randy Mitchell. Thanks for the update, says Joyce. You are very welcome. Hello from South Texas, says Johnny Gonzalez. Hello. Steve, you are the best on YouTube channel, says Bolo Ramos BX. Thank you for that, Bolos. Where will the new nuke go, says Alfie Peters. Great question. I hope that they don't do this. But man, this is coming out, like I said, linked in the description for you. So let me go ahead and share with you what it is that they're saying, these warnings coming out, these threats. And like I said, hopefully this doesn't come about. Hopefully this is just Russia flexing, but we are receiving warnings, it seems like every single day now, from other nations that are allies to Russia, North Korea. We heard warnings from Turkey. We heard warnings from China to the United States specifically saying Russia is not playing. So let me share with you the latest. Now, I also see Rose saying, Steve, you are my trusted news. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I'll do my best to make sure I get you guys the latest information, even the things that are not necessarily in the agenda of the mainstream news media outlets, but I try to find the latest, report it to you, keep you up to date as to what's going on. And I try to cite all the sources like a book report so you know exactly where they're coming from, because that way we can question these sources. And I might accidentally misread something. That's possible too. I'm human. So this just keeps everything on the up and up, checking everything in the description. I will continue to do that for you guys. So that way you know exactly what's going on, because I always say, don't trust anybody. Don't even trust me. Do your own research, and I will provide you with my research so that way you can see it and you can read it. I get a lot of people saying that their family members don't necessarily believe what's going on. All of my links are in the description. You can send them the sources that I'm finding so that way they can see it for themselves, because I know a lot of people saying they want their family members to prepare as well, but they're not taking action, not necessarily following what is going on in the world right now. But I will keep you guys up to date. Jasmine Miller, thank you for that $2 super chat. Says, thank you so much for the info, Steve. You are very welcome, and I appreciate that a ton. Thank you so much. Now, do me a favor. I see we've got 2,047 people with me live in the room, 677 likes. Please hit that like button. It really helps out a ton. Just takes a second. All it does is spread this out further so more people can get the information. YouTube sees you like it. You're interacting with the video. It spreads it out further. Also, subscribe to stay up to date. And if you're already subscribed, just make sure that you're still subscribed. People have been getting unsubscribed from the channel. We don't know why. I think maybe YouTube thinks we're bots. Some people are saying maybe the information is trying to be suppressed. I have no idea, but just make sure you're still subscribed turn on those notifications. And again, all of the information, resources galore in the description for people that want to start preparing for anything that could potentially happen here as these warnings coming out of World War III and nuclear war. And like I said, I'm going to make sure I keep you guys up to speed on everything. Bullets and Gasoline, thank you for the $20 super chat. He said, I would suspect that they would detonate near Tsar bomb site. Kind of crazy how Russia keeps trying to tell us to back off and to de-escalate, but then the United States and other countries are just pushing for another major war. Yeah, I would imagine hopefully they would not do it near anyone, but we will see. And it just seems like every day things are escalating, and we keep hearing these warnings to back off, and things just keep getting more and more intense. Family Man 24, thank you for the $2 super chat. He says, war is inevitable. It has been prophesized. Yeah, absolutely. If you are a believer, there is, it says wars, rumors of wars. There's going to be a lot of crazy things going on in the back of the book. But I will keep you guys up to date every step of the way. And I know that we have a lot of believers on the channel, a lot of praying people. Please say a prayer for our world, for our nation, for everything that's taking place. I believe that prayer works. So let me go ahead and share with you the latest, though, so that way you can see what is happening, what came out. And again, this linked in the description below. Now, this article says World War III on the brink as Russia advised to demonstrate nuclear explosions to scare the West. Now, prominent Russian security analysts, they are calling on Russia to consider lightning a demonstrative nuclear explosion to deter the West from further involvement in the Ukrainian conflict. Now it says Dmitry Soslov, a top figure for the Moscow-based Council of Foreign and Defense Policy, so one of their advisors, has put forward an idea for Russia to start carrying out demonstrative nuclear detonations, a move that could prompt the start of World War III. Now, this alarming suggestion arises as tensions with the West intensify due to Ukraine's use of Western supplies weaponry against Russian forces. And again, I've shared with you that really things begin to ramp up over the past month. Although this has been going on for 2 years, the war with Russia and Ukraine. The United States has not really been too involved. We haven't heard as many warnings about World War III or the nuclear war, except for in about the last month. Something changed in the last month. And what that was the United States changed their stance on the use of our weaponry against Russia. For the past 2 years, President Joe Biden has told Ukraine, do not use our U.S. missiles to launch into Russia because we are afraid that will escalate the conflicts. Russia has vocalized any nation that allows Ukraine to use their weapons against us will be held accountable. Now, what happened about a month ago? The Biden administration changed their stance on that, told Ukraine, go ahead. Now it's time. You can go ahead and use our missiles against Russia. Within 24 hours of that change of stance, Ukraine did just that. And Russia said the United States will be held accountable. Now, in addition to that, just a little while ago, maybe like a week or so ago, we saw Ukraine launching them into Russia over Crimea, and we saw Russia shoot them down. We saw those missiles explode and fall upon the beaches in Crimea, and we heard that 5 people lost their lives, 151 were injured. And Russia again said there will be retaliation against the United States. We hold them directly responsible because these are their weapons. And also, they were aimed at our military assets. And there is no way that Ukraine could know where those were unless they had the help of spy satellites from other nations. And that is the United States. So they're saying this is directly the United States. They're holding them responsible for this. And now we're seeing things are intensifying. And now we're hearing that Russia is considering taking into consideration demonstrating their nuclear power by detonating a nuclear bomb. Carrie Cole, thank you for the $10 super chat. I was an F.E. Warren AFB Missile-Based Control Center retired. I bet the current control centers are worried. Yeah, I bet they are. There is so much going on. And just think, too, this is just my thought. This is what we're hearing about right now. This is what's coming out on the news. But what is going on behind closed doors that we don't even know of? How close are we really? How concerned are they about potential all-out war and nuclear missiles? I think that it is it could be even worse than we realize, what we're being told. So without a doubt, I think that there is a lot of concern taking place right now. And what is being released to the public, I can't even imagine. They're just telling us bits and pieces, trying not to create mass chaos, I would imagine. But I don't know. I could be wrong. Now, the article reading on says Soslav's think tank, known to occasionally sway the government policy, made this proposal public shortly after President Vladimir Putin delivered a grave warning to NATO countries. Putin warned that if Ukraine were to employ Western arms for attacks on Russian soil, that it would spark a worldwide crisis, reinforcing his point with threats of severe repercussions. And again, this actually was suggested about a month ago. Articles coming out again. This is being brought back up for demonstrating their nuclear power, Russia's nuclear power, with detonating a nuclear bomb. Ukraine's officials maintain that hitting Russian military sites within Russia using long-range Western missiles is essential for their defense and to thwart air, missile, and drone assaults. Some Western nations have shown sympathy for this view, though the U.S. has not given its backing, reports the Express U.S. has said. With the world's largest nuclear stockpile, Russia has repeatedly cautioned that such moves would represent a major escalation, potentially drawing NATO and participating states into an outright conflict and raising the spectrum of a nuclear confrontation. So we're hearing that this could unfold. Other nations are concerned about what could be happening here. And we actually heard, I shared with you in a previous video, that Norway has actually started stockpiling food for what they're calling an apocalyptic future. They believe this is coming. The entire nation now, they are stockpiling wheat, grain, other items in preparation for what they're saying could be a apocalyptic future, World War III, nuclear war. Now, Suslov highlighted the urgency for Russia to take bold steps to deter Western nations from overstepping a crucial boundary. He suggested a non-combat nuclear detonation as a severe caution. Now, to confirm the seriousness of Russia's intentions and to convince our opponents of Moscow's readiness to escalate, it is worth considering a demonstrative, non-combative nuclear explosion. So let me read that for you again. To confirm the seriousness of Russia's intentions and to convince our opponents, or the West or the United States, of Moscow's readiness to escalate. So we are ready to fight. It is worth considering a demonstrative, non-combat. So in other words, this is not towards any nation in particular, but demonstrating a nuclear explosion, he said. He penned this in a business publication, Love your broadcast, says Eric Healy. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate the Eric Hill, the $20 super chat. You are awesome. Thank you for the support. I will continue to keep you up to date. Now, he went on to describe the potential repercussions of such a move, the political and psychological effect of a nuclear mushroom cloud, which will be shown live on all TV channels around the world, will hopefully remind the Western politicians of the one thing that has prevented wars between the great powers since 1945 and that they have now largely lost: fear of nuclear war. So they're saying they have lost their fear. They have forgotten, because nothing like this has happened since 1945. And they're saying, let's rekindle that fear. Let's sort of wake them up, shake them to the possibility, to the reminder that we have this capability. Let's show them a mushroom cloud, a nuclear explosion, so they can understand this is a real threat. This is what is currently being proposed by Russia at this time. Now, this proposal is among the latest from Russian security analysts and their legislators, who are pushing for a nuclear demonstration to cow the West amidst the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Such talk has set off alarm bells among Western security circles, with worries that Russia may be edging towards carrying out such a test. Now, the Kremlin has not yet issued a statement regarding Suslov's recommendations. Officially, Russia maintains its nuclear stance as before. Nonetheless, earlier this month, the Kremlin expressed its displeasure with what it views as increasing hostilities from the United States and NATO's discourse by initiating tactical nuclear weapon exercises. So right now, as I mentioned, everything that Russia is doing, they are justifying it by saying the United States is doing it. Why can't we? Also, we heard that Russia is taking into consideration creating their banned nuclear weapons. They had a peace treaty that they would not create certain nuclear weapons that were banned. Now they're saying it's time to start. Let's create these nuclear weapons. And in addition to that, let's go ahead and spread them out all over the world to our allies, which are the adversaries of the United States. Let's send them to Cuba, to Venezuela. Let's send them to China, to North Korea. Let's send them to all these nations that are buddies with Russia and that are against the United States. Let's get them also in striking range of the United States as well, and to NATO nations, to let them know that we potentially could wipe you out if we wanted. And there was a lot of speculation with that, with what unfolded down in Cuba in the Gulf. When we saw those fleets coming down, we heard Russia and Cuba say, don't worry, we don't have any nuclear weapons on board. The United States telling the people here, don't worry, there's no nuclear weapons on board. But we did see that nuclear-powered submarine go off track, go all the way up the Gulf Coast, go all the way up to the edge of Miami, and just kind of sit there and travel back and forth. And then we saw the United States and Canada react by sending over planes and just following its every single move. Now, if there was no need for concern, why would they do that? I think that there are things going on that they are not sharing with us. And so I think that it's in our best interest, as we're seeing these things escalate and these reports coming out, for us to go ahead and do whatever we think is necessary to keep ourselves and our families safe. And again, like I said, in the description, the list is being added for stockpile items, including EMP protection items as well. So if there is a nuclear blast, if there is a blast that is detonated in the air, it sends out that electromagnetic pulse. There's various waves that come out, protecting your items from being fried, still giving you the ability to use your electronics, your vehicles. Those are linked for you in the description as well. Bullets and gasoline, thank you for the $5 super chat. He said, be on fireworks for Independence Day if they do go through with it. Yeah, absolutely. Tyler McKinney, thank you for the $10 super chat. Science is constantly proved all the time. You see, if we take something like any fiction, any holy book, and destroy it in 1,000 years' times, that wouldn't come back just as it was. Thanks, Tyler McKinney, for the $10 super chat. Not really sure what you're saying there. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Science is constantly proved all the time. You see, if we take something like any fiction, any holy book, and destroyed it in 1,000 years' time, that wouldn't come back just as it was. Okay, yeah, still not sure what you mean, but thank you for that. I appreciate that a ton. I apologize. I'm just not getting what you're sending. Sorry, I see Estelle Blue, the comments. Oh my goodness. And you guys, so I see we got 2,618 people in the room. Do me a favor, hit the like button if you have not yet done so and you appreciate the updates. I appreciate when you do that, because it just helps spread this out further so more people can get the latest information. Let's see here. Thank you for the information. Praying for everyone's safety, says Anna Donaldson. Amen to that. The Great Deception, says Dwan. Somebody says they believe the last trumpet is about to sound. Billions are deceived. Putin is not bluffing. Yeah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that Putin is bluffing? Is he flexing? If you think he is just bluffing, put a 2. If you think he's serious, put a 1. I'd like to see what people's thoughts are on this. Now, again, this was proposed about a month ago from some of the advisors suggesting that they do this, but then now we're seeing it pop back up again. This is being mentioned again, sort of flexing on the rest of the world, saying we need to bring back the fear of potential nuclear war, remind them that we are the nuclear power on Earth, that Russia has the most nuclear warheads and has the greatest nuclear warheads than any other nation. So they're saying we just go somewhere non-combative, but just go ahead and detonate a nuclear weapon so the world can see what it is that we are capable of. And they're saying, so it could be a bluff, but it might be real. And if it is real, it would definitely be a flex. It would be all over the news. Everyone could see the mushroom cloud and be like, wow, Russia actually detonated a nuclear weapon to show the world what they're capable of. And like I said, what would be the environmental repercussions of that? How far would that spread? Like, how would it impact things? It would be absolutely incredible. I see a lot of ones coming in. I also see some twos. People putting those twos saying they think that it's a flex. Other people putting a one saying no. They believe that it's real, that they believe that Putin is not bluffing. Let me know your thoughts. And again, I see that we've got several people coming in a little bit late asking what in the world is going on. And that is that we have received word that Russian advisors are now suggesting that Russia demonstrate a nuclear explosion to scare the United States and NATO, saying we have all these nuclear weapons, let's detonate them to trigger a reminder in the minds of these adversary nations of what we're capable of. And they're saying that this is the brink of World War III. And they're saying that they need to demonstrate their nuclear explosion to deter the West from further involvement in the Ukrainian conflict. And we actually had heard this, that this was one of the things that they wanted to change in their nuclear doctrine. Russia saying the escalate to de-escalate clause should be changed so that way they can go ahead and do something like this and say, hey, we're doing this to de-escalate the situation, detonating one of our nuclear weapons. Anthony Munoz, thank you for the $10 super chat. Do you even think that the government would allow Western media to show a nuclear test? Wouldn't it stop all the backing? Wouldn't it stop all backing? Great question, Anthony, but this would be my thought, and maybe I'm wrong, but the way that the world is right now with the social media platforms, with YouTube, with X, with Instagram, if there was something as massive as a nuclear explosion that took place and footage got out, I don't know how would they even stop it from getting out. It would circulate so fast. I would imagine that if that took place, I don't know that they could block it. I think it would spread like wildfire. Something of that magnitude would just absolutely, I don't know how they would suppress it. I mean, they could try, but I would imagine that it would spread everywhere. It would be all over the news if there was a nuclear detonation. I mean, we haven't had something like that since the ones in Japan. So I think that would be, it would be everywhere. I mean, maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe they would be able to suppress it, but I would imagine now today, with the way we have social media, it would be everywhere. Let me know your thoughts. If Russia were to demonstrate this, do you think that the United States, if they didn't want us to know, would be able to suppress it? Or do you think they would not be able to with the social media platforms that we have today? If you think that they would not be able to suppress it, put a 3. If you think that they could suppress it, they could figure out a way to shut everybody down, put a 4. I'd be curious to see what your thoughts are on the control, the ability that the United States has. I'm actually seeing both 3s and 4s. A lot of people saying that they think that the United States could suppress it with those 4s, and 3s saying no, they don't think they could. Tambourine Cambos, thank you for the $2 super chat, says, where's the clouds going? We will see. I hope that they're not going anywhere. Martin, thank you for the $2 super chat. It'll be in Siberia, could spread to Alaska. Cruz Garcia says, that's crazy. How would they do that without radiation spreading around? Great question. That's my thought as well. Like, what are the repercussions of something like that unfolding? What will that do to the environment and impact people? Diana Owens, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that a ton. And thank you for supporting the channel. I see your star, that you are a member of the Ram fam with those monthly donations. I appreciate that so much. Thank you for that. I'll keep you up to speed on everything. Grim Reaper said, I just looked up on Google what you're saying about Russia that wants the escalation. Yes, as you guys know here on the channel, I cite all the sources so that way you can see them for yourself. They're linked down below. You can click on them. You can read them. Go ahead and share them all in the description for you guys so that way you can see them. Now, again, this one coming out in the last 24 hours, but this was a recommendation that came out about a month ago, and now it's coming back again. So we will see. Hopefully we don't have this come to fruition though, because that would be absolutely devastating. Arthur saying, though, it would stop the war. He said he believes that if Russia did that, it would stop the war. Man, let me know your thoughts. If Russia did that, would it stop the war? If you think that it would stop the war and the United States and NATO would have second thoughts about moving forward, put a 5. If you think it wouldn't stop the war and that they are just, just determined to move forward, put a 6. I'd be curious to see what people think. 5, Russia detonates a bomb and that it does stop a war, or 6, nope, they're moving forward. They do not care. Wow, look at those 6s pouring in. People saying the United States and NATO would not be deterred even by a nuclear demonstration by Russia. Wow, absolutely incredible. Somebody saying we can't show weakness. Very true. Russia doing this demonstration, who knows? Maybe it would even spark World War III. It would say, hey, we need to calm this person. This is out of control. It's time to shut them down. Let me know your thoughts. Wow, look at those 6s coming in. People saying, nope. It would only escalate the tensions if Russia did that. Big Chase is saying Joe Biden wouldn't even understand what was going on. Yeah, and we're going to be seeing what unfolds with that. I saw a lot of people rumoring around that yesterday President Joe Biden was having a meeting with his family to discuss the future of his campaign, and a lot of people saying that they're discussing potentially him stepping aside. However, I had also heard that they actually had that planned before the debates. So it was already set in place as well. So there's a lot of speculation that meeting was for him and his family to discuss him not moving forward. But I've also heard them say that Biden has said, no, like, I'm not stepping down. We will see. I don't know. We'll see if things change. But from what I've heard, Biden is not planning to step down. And that meeting was already set before the debates. So a lot of the speculation that meeting was for him to talk to them about potentially stepping down, I don't know. We will see. Jeff Shannon says, I thought that the countries came together and agreed never to do nuclear testing. That's right, Jeff Shannon. And thank you for supporting the channel. However, guess what? That agreement is broken now. It is over, and there is no agreement. Russia is no longer a part of those nuclear treaties or agreements whatsoever. That was actually one of the videos that I just recently did, was that they said that there was actually certain weapons too that they were banned from creating. They were not allowed to create. Guess what? Now Russia's saying, let's create them. We're not a part of any of these treaties anymore. Let's go ahead and do whatever we want, essentially. So we will see. So again, you guys, do me a favor. If you haven't already, hit the like button. If you appreciate the updates. I see we got 2,555 people with me live in the room, 1,700 likes. Hit the like button, subscribe to stay up to date. It's totally free. Make sure you're still subscribed. Additional resources linked in the description for you. In addition to that, if there is an EMP that hits, an electromagnetic pulse from a detonation of a nuclear weapon in the air, that would essentially wipe out electronics, there is EMP-proof fabrics for you down below. You can shape them to whatever device you want. Also, EMP tapes. Also, EMP for your cars as well. So a couple of items. And also, you need a detector to verify that you have fully covered and that there's no signals coming through. There's an EMF detector in there for you too. All highly rated, military grade, so that way you know that you're getting the best, not only shields signals, but EMP blasts as well. So those are linked in the description for you. You can go ahead and check those out. Want to make sure that the Ram Fam community has access to anything that we need. And let me know too what other things you might want. I saw a lot of requests for people saying, hey, how do we prepare? What do we need to get? Also, there's that free guide to take you through step by step, totally free, in the description. If we have a power grid failure, what you need to think about. All you got to do is put in your email. It gets emailed right to you. It's an online PDF, and you can go ahead and check it out. That is free resources. So there are those in the description. Baby Cortez, $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Tell True Steve, what do you think about this? What do I think? Well, I'll tell you the truth. I think that this is crazy, absolutely insane. I mean, if they did this, I don't know if you saw all the sixes in the comments, but it would escalate things quite a bit. Some people saying that they want to do this to de-escalate, using that escalate to de-escalate clause, but I think it's absolutely insane. And I don't know about you guys, but right now I'm reading this stuff. I'm just researching and sharing with you guys what I'm finding. And I'm going ahead and making sure that my house has got the necessary things in place. I've never considered myself a prepper, but with the way that the world is going right now, 2024, the year of war, I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think anybody's calling the preppers crazy anymore. I think now they're spot on, and I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You've got additional security things. You've got stocked up food and water. The best case, hopefully nothing happens and you just got some extra food and then you can eat it. That's just my thought. Old Combat Vet, thank you for the $5 super chat. It's the international bankers and their corporate industry minions. They have started all world wars, 3 world wars. Thank you for that super chat. And yeah, it could be. Tyler McKinney, thank you for the $5 super chat part 2. If we took every science book and every fact and destroyed them all, in 1,000 years, they'd all be back, but the Bible would not. Okay, so Tyler McKinney is saying that he believes that all the scientific facts would return, but the Bible would not return, he's saying. Okay, so Tyler, you're saying that you don't believe in the Bible? I think that's what you're saying. Let me know your thoughts on that, Tyler. I personally believe in the Bible, but if you don't believe in it, that's okay. We can still be on the same channel here, literally on the same channel, and have different opinions, but I personally am a believer in the Bible. I believe it's the Word of God. If you don't believe that, that's totally fine. I'll still share with you the latest news coming out, so that way you are up to date on everything. Ingrid Stewart, thank you for supporting the channel. Hey, Steve Ram, it's Ingrid. I am not feeling well today, so I need some prayers for health. Okay, Ingrid, we will pray that your health is well. Also, you might want to check out the YouTube pastor, Greg Smith, Prophetic Insight. Shout out to Greg. He does prayers live, and he usually comes on at night. Maybe like around right now, he might be on as well. So check out Greg, and he actually has prayed for people, and they've reported that they've been healed on his channel when he prays for them. So you might want to check him out too. Tyler McKinney, $2 super chat. Be more tolerant of other views of people. Yes, totally agree. I think that we can all have differing views and opinions. It's totally fine. If you don't believe in the Bible, or if you do believe in the Bible, or you believe in something else, that's totally fine. But as for me, I personally believe in it. And I'm also going to vocalize my belief. I'm not going to hold that back. Madison, thank you for the $5 super chat. Biden only cares about one thing, that is ice cream. Oh, man. Steve Ram for president says E4MB1011. Thank you for that. Maybe we'll make a run next go around. Jeffrey Knox, one chance, dude. This country is built on the Bible. In God we trust, says Brian. Adam Martinez, thank you for the $5 super chat. Recap just arrived. Nuclear blast. Yeah, okay, so for those of you hopping on a little bit late, just a quick recap. We're hearing that Russian advisors are now suggesting that Russia do a demonstration of their nuclear power by doing a nuclear explosion, detonating a nuclear device to scare the United States and NATO, to scare the West. Prominent Russian secretary analysts are calling upon Russia to consider lighting up a demonstrative nuclear explosion to deter the West from further involvement in Ukrainian conflict. So this is actually something that we heard about a month ago. It's now coming back. They are saying that Russia should detonate a nuclear bomb to remind the United States of what's capable. It says that they have forgotten the fear of nuclear war, that they haven't had anything in their sight about this since 1945. Now we've forgotten, and now they're saying it's time to remind the world. They're saying, let's go ahead and create a nuclear cloud mushroom, an explosion for all to see, and to remind them, you do not want to mess with Russia, because Russia is the greatest nuclear power on earth. That is what we have just heard coming out in the last 24 hours. And that is what I'm sharing with you guys here on the channel right now. But again, as more comes out on this, I'll make sure that you guys are up to date on everything. I'll be sure to share with you guys. Do me a favor, hit the like button. 50 more likes. If you haven't done so yet, please do so. It will hit 2,000 likes on this live stream. I would appreciate it. Nana, thank you for the $10 super chat. You are awesome. Steve gives out a free survival guide. Yes, linked in the description below, along with the other resources as well. Trying to make sure you guys got everything that you can here on the channel. Please hit that like button, subscribe to stay up to date. All articles linked in the description below for you guys. I will keep you up to date on everything. But that is the latest. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.